Next story, a possible record number of blue whales spotted off of Northern California coast.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of this year.
Yeah, so we always see the gray whales.
Mm-hmm.
So the blue whales are a little bit different, and it was a foggy morning on the Farallon Islands, and 5 biologists who live out there and do studies out in the Farallon Islands, came outside and they started seeing all these blue whales, and so they said, "Wow, this is a big deal," and they started counting and counting and counting, and they counted 47 whales off the small island, which the Farallon Islands, if you're not familiar, it's about 25 miles off the coast of San Francisco, known for its great white sharks. Basically, it's a marine wildlife they love it there, and they noted that it's a possible record. It's definitely the largest concentration of marine mammals documented off the NorCal coast in 20 years. So they have counted more in that area. They counted 50 once, but they, just based on what they were able to count, they said it was a potential record. So the biologists reached out to the NOAA and the Coast Guard and basically said, stop large boats from traveling in the area because they're gonna kill a bunch of these things.
I really wish there was drone footage of this. Blue whales are the largest living creature on Earth, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure blue whale is the largest living creature on Earth, and so, I would have just loved to see a drone shot. Now that probably would have involved boats getting probably a little bit too close, but we saw a lot of video shots of the gray whale migration. I just wished that we would be able to see something like that, but again, it probably was because it wouldn't have been safe for the blue whales. So
yeah, I'm sure they have some photos. There wasn't many online. There wasn't many released by the biologists. I'm sure they have plenty of camera equipment out there. But apparently this year there's been a heavy winds, and that brings in the krill. Yeah. The krill, which are these little shrimp.
It's what blue whales eat.
It's what they eat
exclusively.
So the winds brought all these krill further inland or closer to the shore, basically, bringing all these blue whales to come have a feeding frenzy. But pretty cool. Farallon Islands are cool. Have you heard of the rats out there? So Farallon Islands are crazy. I would never go out there because it's known as the largest shark concentration in North America. But it's, I guess, a lot of people used to go out there in the 1800s and the early 1900s by boat and fish. And on these boats hopped all these rats. And once they landed on the islands, the rats would hop out, and they eventually overran the island. So there's an island of nothing but rats surrounded by sharks. And they were going to go through with this plan to just release a bunch of rodent side, poison, rat poison.
Pesticide, yeah.
And I'm not sure if they went through with it. If they did, it was very quiet because a lot of people were pissed that they were just going to go kill a bunch of rats, which who cares? But it's just a weird island.
The rats on that island are similar to the buffalo on Catalina Island.
Yeah, good point.
But the buffalo aren't they haven't overrun things. They've just kind of added to the allure that is Catalina Island. But Rat Island doesn't sound too appealing to me.
Rat Island surrounded by sharks. I'm good on that. I'm good.
There's got to be some kind of sea lions that eat some of the rats, right? That's
I don't know.
Don't sharks generally surround islands that are habited or to be grazed and rested on by something that they eat?
Well, there's just a high concentration of marine animal activity. So. And I don't know what the ecosystem between the San Francisco Bay and the islands is. It's maybe a little bit, it's got to be some sort of mountain ridge underwater where there's a lot of activity, whereas where they can be low and come in high. I don't know. I'm just making this up.
There's probably food for the smaller fish, which makes them get bigger, which then the bigger fish than eat. And so it's just a healthy environment for marine life to live.
Yes, but not anywhere. I'm not an ocean guy. I will not be going anywhere where sharks hang out. That's just how I am. So
Same.
I'm good on the Farallons.